Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this video we are going to see how to create a button fade effect in Tkinter. So let's start coding. So in order to create a button fade effect, we don't actually have an inbuilt function in Tkinter. So we are going to use some trick to show that effect. So I have already written some code. It's actually the front end part. Let me run this. So this is what it actually looks like. So we have a button here, which what I want is when I click on it, it needs to fade. Before going further, let me explain you something. So in order to create a fade effect in button, we are going to manipulate the background color and the foreground color of this button. What we are going to do is, since this background color of the Tkinter window is black, so we will change the color of the foreground and the background of the button little by little till it reaches close to the or equal to the background color of the Tkinter window. And we will be doing this in a loop, so it will give us an effect as if the button is fading. So first of all, let me explain you this two function. As you know, the Tkinter widgets accept the color in the hex format, so we can't provide the RGB, that is this triple, to this. So what we are going to do is we will manipulate the colors, and after all the operations are done, we will just pass it to this function RGB to hex. So this function will convert the RGB to the hex format, and we will use that to the button. So the only task of these two functions is to convert the RGB to hex and hex to RGB and nothing else. So now let's implement the main function to fade the button. So let's start from here. Let's create a function def get color and fade, and it will accept the event since we will be binding this function with a button. So let's bind the button b1.bind, and we will bind it with a button click button1, and it will be binded to the function get color and fade. That's it. And here in the get color and fade function, we will extract the background and the foreground color of the button. So background hex, since the button will give us the hex color, so it will be e.widget, and of this we are going to extract the background. And same we will be doing with foreground. So foreground hex equal to e.widget, and it will be foreground. Now we will be converting this background and foreground to the RGB format. So let's create this foreground RGB equal to hex to RGB, and here we will provide the foreground hex. And same with background RGB equal to hex to RGB, and here we will provide the background hex. Now since we are going to manipulate this RGB values, so we need to convert this into a list. Since tuples cannot be modified, so here we will provide the list, and here too. Now since to create the fade effect, background color and foreground color needs to be faded at the same time, so we need to create two loops. That is, we need to create the root.after loop so that both the functions run at the same time. So we will create a variable first, fade background and fade foreground, and this will be none initially. And after this, we will initiate the loop root.after, and here we will provide the number of seconds or milliseconds after which this needs to execute. So for now, I'm giving 10, and here we will provide the function that will be responsible to fade the button. So we will create this function later, lambda. It needs to be lambda since we are going to pass some arguments to this function. So the function name will be fade widget, and it will take foreground, and after this it will also take e and also the loop, since we need to cancel the loop after the fading is done. Now same thing we need to do with background. So fade background, and it will also be root dot after 10 millisecond, and lambda it will be fade widget, and it will be background and e and fade background. So our this function get color and fade is done. Now this is the main function that is responsible to fade the widget. So let's start implementing this. So here we'll be creating fade widget, and it will take parameters attribute color e and fade loop. Now after this, let's create a step value. So a step equals to 10. Now this step is actually the amount by which we need to decrease or increase the RGB value of the color to make it as close as to the background color. So now here we will access the global variables foreground faded and background faded. Now here we need to specify a check if the difference in the RGB value of the color and the background is greater than or less than step. If it is greater than the step, it means we need to change the RGB value. So let's specify a check here. If absolute value of color 0 minus background 0, if it is greater than step, it means we need to change the RGB value. Now here we need to check if the R value of color is less than or greater than the R value of background. if the R value of color is less than the background, it means we need to increase its R value by step. While if it is greater than the R value of background, we need to decrease it by step. So let's do if color 0 is greater than background 0. If this is the case, we need to decrease the color. So color 0 minus equal to step. In the else part, we need to increase the color. Color 0 plus equal to step. Now same thing we need to do with other RGB values as well. So we will copy this for green and for blue. Now let's change the index here. It will be 1 and here it will be 2. So after all these manipulations, we need to change the color of the widget. So we need to change e.widget and its attribute. Now it should be a hex color, but since this color is in RGB format, we need to convert it to hex. So we will use the function RGB to hex, and here we will provide the color. But now since color is a list, this RGB to hex function actually takes a tuple. So we need to convert this into a tuple of color. Now it's done. Now we need to specify check here to stop all the process, and it will stop only when all the R, G and B value of the color is either equal or less than to the R, G and B of the background. If that condition is satisfied, then we will stop all this loop. So we will check if absolute value of color 0 minus background 0, if it is less than or equal to step, and this must be true for all the indexes. So we will also see if absolute value of color 1 minus background of 1, if it is less than equals to step, and absolute value of color index 2 minus background of 2, if it is also less than equal to step. If this is the case, it means button is faded. Now here we need to specify root.after to cancel the loop. So here will be fade loop and we will reset fade loop to none. Now after this, we need to check which attribute has been changed right now. If it is foreground, then we need to update the variable foreground faded to true. While if it is not true, it means background has been faded. So we'll change the background faded to true. Now here we will check if both the foreground and background are faded, then we will destroy the widget. So if foreground faded and background faded, if both are true, then just destroy the widget. e.widget.destroy. But if all these conditions are not satisfied, then we need to keep on running the loop. So if fade loop is true, then we will rerun the loop. It will be root.after 10 seconds and we will provide the lambda function fade widget, which will take the attribute and color, E and fade loop. So our fade widget function is done. So I hope I have not made any mistake here. So let's see if it runs or not. Okay, so we have error. Oh, I have done a silly mistake here. Let's run the code again. Now let's click the button. Let's see if it fades or not. So we have done again one mistake in the line 78. Here we have not provided the color. So let's provide this. Here will be background RGB and here will be the foreground RGB. Now it should work fine. Let's run the code again. Let's click on the button. So again we have error here. Bad argument must be cancelled. Okay, so I have done one more mistake in line 53. root.after cancel. Let's hope it runs right this time. Let's click on the button. So it fades beautifully. Now let's create a variable here, delay, that will be 5 seconds. Not 5 actually, it will be 10, and step value will be 5. And wherever we have specified 10, we will replace it with delay so that we can change the delay value whenever we want. So for now delay is quite fast. Let's increase its value so that we can properly see the button being faded away. So let's give it 18. Now let's run the code. Click on the button. Okay, so it faded slowly. So I hope you understood how we created this fade effect in button. So that's it for this video. We'll meet you in the next one. Bye bye.